Okay, we're gonna finish off the regular gameplay today. Oh, hi, this is Lee. Learning with Lee. We are going to end the game. So you see I did a little bit of CSS stuff, which maybe I'll show you today, otherwise next time. But let me get to the end of a game here. I still have it with a few number of cards. Okay, so here we go. It says game over, player 2 wins, player 1 has no more cards to play. So I decided to, like when they do war, if they only had, 2 cards in their pile and they couldn't put 3 down, just to call the game over and not let them just, play that one card. So anytime it gets to 0, it ends the game. So you can see the error that shows up. It doesn't affect anything here. Our game is ending, but it's saying I can't read property 0 of undefined. Like it's looking for another card, but it's not there. There's no more cards in their pile, so it's saying, it's undefined. I can't read that card for you. So that's where that error is coming from. But it's not affecting our gameplay. So let me show you that code. I decided to make a function called endgame. So in our last time we made a function assign, when we assign cards, and I just do this, just the beginning of it. If player 1 length, first player length equals 0, so how many cards are in their array. If the first player's array, if their deck is empty, there's nothing in there, or 2 straight lines is or, the second player length is 0, then run endgame. Just before it tries to do the whole assign function. So endgame, if it's the first player that has no cards, then it says game over, player 2 wins. If the second player's length is 0, then it says game over, player 1 wins. And I just made the color of the font red just to make it clear that something changed on the page, so you pay attention. And I took out the number of cards and I take off this draw off. Remember draw is our draw button. Draw on, we're turning it on here for click, then run this function. So I'm turning draw off. You can't keep clicking the card, clicking for more cards after this point. Turns it off. So that button won't do anything anymore. It's pretty simple, yeah? This end here is, it's part of the HTML, where it says how many cards people have. The one person has 0 cards, the other person has all the cards. You could have it just write that in. But I was having trouble with it being weird. Like it would show there's still some cards because it would, like, while it was doing the war thing, it was taking more cards, and anyway, it was getting weird, so I just took that off to not have to worry about it. And I guess I can show you the CSS that I added in here. So, function assign, at the top here you'll see that I call the border black. Border color is black for first and second player. That's because I decided to turn it red, just kind of lazy, and just put the word red in there instead of looking up a color. When that player wins, I turn the border of that card area red, just because you don't have to like look up here each time to see who wins. Just a little visual, so you can keep your eyes down here and just move quickly. It gives you a little visual who wins. And then when you hit draw and assign, it goes ahead and puts them both back to black. So, oh, the other thing I did was this draw button. I literally went to Google and typed in button pushing effect CSS. Clicked on the first thing, W3 schools, which I'd like to use. That's something I use a lot. That's something I've done before. I've never done this one before. There it goes. So I just clicked on try it yourself. I copied this code like that, and I pasted it into my CSS. I changed it to draw. That's what I called my thing in the HTML. I took out duplicates. I used my own width that I had there before. And I added margin auto to put it in the center. And I just left everything the same. I used the color. I just left the color. I just left everything the same that they had there. So I don't even worry about what that code is. And the other thing I did was add to like the cell phone version of it, change the width of the column to 90% instead of 30%. On this screen here, if this is big, this takes up 30%, but I want that column to be able to shrink down. See that okay? I want that column not to shrink down. I want it to get wider when there. It's an easy way to get it small. I wanted this column to get wider on like a cell phone view instead of being squished into 30% of the width. It didn't make any sense. So I probably want to make the logo thing bigger on a small screen. Anyway, you can play like this as well. Right? So game's over. Alright, so there you go. If you're not hearing the audio of the setting down the cards, it's because just the setting I have this turned to for recording me at the moment didn't turn on recording the computer sounds as well, if you're not hearing it. Okay, maybe you are hearing it. So that's that. I guess next lesson we will get it online, and then I will decide if I will go ahead and use this code, turn it into a math game where we'd have to enter an answer. Decide if I want to do that or start a new project. One thing we haven't done yet is the user entering in some word, some number, something, and taking that information and using it. So that's something we do need to do in some project. All right, there you go. See you next lesson.